purpose of this channel is to broaden the perspective of functionality and their consequences, which have a narrow perspective of the influence surrounding them. In this video, I'll be reading the work A Government of European Necessity. Goes into what makes something valuable, and at the end of this video, I'll be talking about the process, what led to the conclusion. And I'd like to thank
Adis M. Stearns, P.N. and Swartz, S.B., published in 1994. The name is Turbulent Passage, A Global History of the 20th Century, published in New York. And the other is Castle, G., published in 2001, Post-Colonial Discourses, an anthology, Oxford, published in the UK.
Throughout history, political and socio-economic domains have been dependent on the mode of production. The mode of production has influenced and changed the organization of politics and socio-economic and the areas they affect. The content of this essay is aimed to explain the consequences mode of production has on the political and socio-economic domains by mainly focusing on effects of European industrialization and imperialism. The mode of production consists of two aspects. First, it is the means of production, which consists of raw material, land, labor, and capital. And the second aspect is the relation of production, which consists of the relationship between a person who owns the mode of production and the laborer. Industrialization gave way to the development of industries in the European region on a large scale. This gave way for societal changes within the European region and the United States region of organization. Political changes came about, which included a wider development of voting rights and gave the government a new form of function, which in this case be mass production. Social changes also came about where new family functions were introduced. Family activities or work moved from inside the family towards outside the family, and this emphasized on the importance of science and technology in the Western intellectual life. The growing industrial economies of the West needed new markets and resources which could not be found domestically. Western technology, alongside with its weapons, gave an advantage towards Western civilizations over other societies internationally. This gave motivations towards explorers and the Western government's search for new and secure markets and resources for raw material by imperialism, which entails the extending the powers of one's region towards another by military force and other means, revolutionizing international relationships and increasing Western dominance. Industrialization first started in Britain in the early 19th century and spread to other regions of Europe and later the United States. This entailed technological advancements such as the coal-powered engines into the production process, replacing people and animal labor. There are many factors which led to the Industrial Revolution, such as new problems and ideas. Population pressure being one of the factors within Britain gave way towards advancements in social domains. The population growth went up by 150% between the 18th and the 19th century. This immense growth could only be sustained with economic advancements. Other factors include the proclamation of faith and the need for humans to dominate nature towards their own will. Combined with the advantage gained from world commerce, Europe became a dominant figure within the international arena. The capital gained from international commerce fed industrialization, and for it to happen in such a revolutionary manner, creating new markets internationally for their mass-produced goods. Industrialization produced a factory labor force which was separate from home. Increased specialization of labor was also a consequence of industrialization, introducing more direct rules and discipline, which changed the organization of human labor. Britain was quickly in competition with other European countries as they started to copy industrialization. Industrialization moved people from the countryside to the city, distorting families in the process. The cities in which the people migrated to were in poor condition due to the overpopulation and the constant flux of people into them, which later negatively affected health and sanitation conditions of the residents. New social divisions started to emerge where the middle class wanted to move away from the city due to its poor conditions and crime being on the rise, creating suburbanization in the process. Work was horrible for laborers due to the new direct rules and discipline that was introduced, which restrained and reduced traditional values of leisure and quality production. The introduction of new machines made factory owners to get laborers to work as much as possible to pay off for the machines, reducing recreational aspects of work such as singing and drinking in the process. In the social domain, new business-led city governments expand the police forces to interrupt popular festivals, competitions, and gambling due to new direct rules and discipline. A redefinition of the middle class came about where the family was starting to be an aspect which entails affection and purity, where children and women were to be protected from the harsh conditions of the new working environment. Women withdrew from formal employment and were given new roles to play in caring for children and taking care of the house. This mostly applied to women who were with partners and could afford to work at home. Education for children replaced work as a logical role which children should be involved in preparation for the business work environment. The importance of family increased because it gave hope and emotional satisfaction due to the changing labor dynamics and other communities institutions such as taverns to replace the loss in power in the work environment. Industrialization began to align itself with political changes in forming new constitutional structures. Political change can be seen in the revolt of American colonies against Britain late in the 18th century. The United States emerged in 1780s, which made itself distant from Europe but followed a model of a republican regime.